After the last two members he'd pulled, it seemed these so-called Children of Dinah were easy nuts to crack, almost like they were just waiting on any excuse to turn on their leader. Gloria was a far cry from viewing Mother Amelia and the Children of Dinah as the enemy, the actual transference part of Step 5. Still, it all seemed too easy. But cults, aside from their sinister aspects, were ostensibly safe places to share stories, share pain with like-minded people, like group therapy only with a cult leader in place of a therapist. Part of the appeal was finding some sort of meaning in their lives and a sense of belonging, a sense of identity. It was a lot easier to find those things these days, especially online, with all of the little boxes people like to put themselves in, defining themselves in progressively narrower niches, like Russian nesting dolls. Straight white cis-het vegan cyclists for Palestine, Asian trans Republican cinephiles, black furry polyamorous Jews for Jesus. As Gloria had said about her disability, like it defines them as a person, as if all of these special interest groups and communities were homogenous. A couple of decades ago, these same people would have balked at being labeled, at being put in boxes. These days, the more labels you had, the better. They collected them like trading cards, like kids chasing their Pokemons. The times they are a-changin', Enhart thought, still grinning. Want me to get you a pop? Gloria shrugged and nodded, her body seemingly at odds with her desires. I know the feeling, he thought. What kind? Her tongue flicked out, moistening her chapped lips. If they have a pib, get that, please. If not, Dr. Pepper. She smiled. I like how the spice tickles my nose. She wiggled her nose to demonstrate, reminding him of Elizabeth Montgomery from Bewitched, and he couldn't help but think just how goddamn cute this girl was. She's also half your age, he chided himself. Get it together, Mike. I'll see what I can do, he said, and stood with a slight groan. Don't go anywhere. Gloria chuckled. Where would I go? Enhart smiled and crossed the room. He felt like he was beginning to build a rapport with her now. This wasn't part of the gospel of the Children of Dinah, their tenets or practices. But she seemed to want to tell him her story, which he wasn't about to balk at. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, he thought as he opened the door. He turned back to Gloria as he stepped out onto the walk. She gave him a tight smile, and he returned it. Then he closed the door behind himself and headed for the vending machines near the motel offices. When the door closed, Gloria sat up stiffly and scanned the room, looking for anything she could use to her advantage. Things were going as well as could be expected, the noose tightening around Michael Enhart's neck an inch at a time. Unless he was a terrific actor, which his earlier tells had revealed he wasn't, he was starting to feel like they were becoming chummy, practically pair bonding. He was married, and happily, so his defenses would be a little harder to chip away at. But all men were essentially the same. Sooner or later, he'd wear down and succumb to her feminine wiles. The bathroom visit had been a stroke of genius, completely improvised on her part. She'd felt him getting semi-erect against her back as he'd lugged her to the toilet, his cheeks reddening from embarrassment. It almost made her physically ill to think about. But she'd definitely done worse in her life. The Nathan Rowan story was tailor-made to take advantage of that sort of weakness in him, similar to what Mother Amelia had done with the photograph and the priest back when she was still just a sister. That phone call from Enhart's wife couldn't have been timed better. He'd come back to the room looking chalky, like someone had just walked over his grave. She'd use that to her advantage, too. Everything was falling neatly into place. With luck on her side, he'd be willing to open that door and let her go free in less than a few hours, even without her 3 miracles. If Mother Amelia wills it, Gloria thought. And of course, she did.